Okay, on to the next segment.
Sure.
Speaking with clarity, confidence, and impact. So I sort of phrase it this way: the top three pillars of impactful speaking, I would say, is structure, presence, and intention. What are your thoughts?
I would completely agree. And I would go on to say that structure may be the lion's share of everything.
Mm,
When you're putting together your content, having a good structure, having a meaningful way in which the audience is consuming what you're saying is super important. So, where you start your speech or where you start your communication, how you come to the middle, and how you package everything together and then present it to the audience, or even to if you're doing a one on one, how you're able to put everything together and then present it. By present, I mean both ways. I literally present, like gift wrap and present. So that's the present and presentations. Gift it to the audience so that it becomes easy for the audience to understand.
mm,
So structure is super important. The other is presence. And presence is again important, but it comes from a delivery perspective. So sometimes when you're speaking to somebody, your presence in terms of your physical presence as well as the energy you're portraying are a little bit different and may or may not be at 100% in terms of how it should be, and yet you can get away with it. Of course, having good presence, executive presence, or just being present is a big plus, but not having it at 100% proportion may not may not really impact you as much.
what occurs to me, I'm not sure if it occurs to any of you
Yeah.
guys, but what occurs to me when you talk about presence in this sense, right, is how they say when a person walks into the room, that energy shifts.
Yes, I agree. So it's the energy that a person brings into any conversation, to any communication.
Mm.
So presence is great, it's important, but sometimes we may not be able to be 100% everywhere, and that's okay. So structure, I would rate, let's say, 10 on 10.
Mm.
Energy and presence could be at an 8 or a 9, and you can still be okay with it.
How about intention?
Intention, so actually, intention doesn't come in that moment.
Mm.
For me, intention is something you prepare before you even
True,
show
true,
up.
true.
And intention is the backstory or the preparation part of it. So, of course, intention needs to be 100% there. But again, even if intention is not 100% there, you still show up. Sometimes showing up is more important than having a 100% intention to show up. Even if you don't intend to do it, like let's say I'm a little unwell today and I don't have an intention to do something, and yet I do it because I promised something, then that's okay. It's okay to not have a fully 100% intention. So it tapers. I mean, for me, it tapers. Structure is super important. Presence and intention is great to have, but you can still override it with discipline. Discipline is more important than the presence and intention.
True, true. Discipline is more important. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you do things even if you don't intend to do them. You make a
It's
promise, you fulfill it, even if your intention is otherwise.
that really does require courage and discipline.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly,
That's
yeah.
true.
Okay. So remember, I will put this in the description later on. But remember these three magic words, three pillars of impactful speaking that she has elaborated on: structure, presence, and intention. I think that summarizes quite a bit. Now, okay, so I have a few friends who've asked me this before. I think that you'll be able to explain this way better than I ever tried to.
Okay.
How to stay calm before speaking or while speaking.
Oh, interesting. So if I'm talking about performance speaking, where you are really performing and it's not a dialogue, so
Mm.
somebody is not really giving you any inputs, it's just one-way communication mostly, 90% of the time, unless you're asking for feedback. How you prepare is firstly the mindset. The preparation that goes behind even a 5 minute speech needs to be put in. There needs to be all your intention and structure and everything put in.
You can't just wing it.
You cannot wing it. Uh, at a point of time, you can actually wing it if you have enough practice.
Mm.
So, in fact, this year I came second in entire Singapore district for the table topics.
Mm.
And table topics is really winging it.
Mm.
They give you the topic when you go up on stage.
There was once upon a time. Sorry for. I just wanted.
That's okay.
It's quite
Go ahead.
funny
Go
actually.
ahead.
There was one time when I think it was back when Vlad was still president.
Yeah.
I came up for a table topic, and you know what? That was the topic they gave me. You're a tissue paper. What's your life like? I'm like, bro.
Yeah, yeah. That's where you need imagination more
Yeah.
than anything else. But like I said, It's something you keep practicing, you keep doing, you keep speaking, and then it will just come to you. So my topic when I was a Singapore national final contest was the power of a simple handshake. And there were 8 of the best speakers in Singapore who jumped 3 hoops, club, area, division, and then gone on to district, which is across Singapore. And these 8 brilliant speakers are there on stage one by one. And I came in second. I didn't win it, but the first guy who won it, his name is Vicky Day, and he's somebody I look up to. So he won the contest, and I came in second. But what he did is, when the topic was given to him, the power of a simple handshake, he first went and hugged the guy who was the Toastmaster of the contest Toastmaster, right? And he said, "Why stop at a handshake when you can give a hug?" So he just completely flipped the narrative, and that made the audience erupt with laughter because he used his imagination to be present on the spot, right? And for my speech, I was talking about how being your own best friend and shaking hands with yourself is more important. So this is a shake hand to yourself, like a namaste, and I come from India, and this is the way I look at things. That we do realize that handshakes can take us very,
Actually,
very
that's a very
far.
interesting perspective. The
Yes, that is
namaste
different,
turning
right?
it into a handshake to
Yeah, this is
yourself.
a handshake to
I've
yourself,
never
with
heard that
yourself,
before.
right? Yeah. So, and this came in the moment. Obviously, I had not prepared or planned
That's
for
an
it.
idea.
Yeah, you don't prepare or plan for some things in life. Nobody goes around with a script saying, "Okay, I'm going to speak this." We all free flow, but it comes with lots and lots and lots of practice, lateral thinking, completely out of the box, and imagination, and saying, how can I make it meaningful for the audience, or how can I make it fun and entertaining for the audience? However, there's a slight thing I'd like to say.
Yeah.
You can't plan this.
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
if it was somebody who you think culturally may not be okay with the hug? Just saying. So you can't plan something like this. It just happens in that moment.
I mean, it occurred to me because I knew that she would be okay with it.
Exactly my point. So it happens in the moment, and therefore we need to be relaxed enough to think in that moment. And how can I make this moment more memorable? Brilliant sharing,
Beautiful.
Amir.
Yeah, but your tips are beautiful. Very clear.
Thank you
Very
so
clear.
much.
Okay, so and then we've covered the tips really.
Okay.
Okay, wait, but this is
Do you want
this
to
is
talk about
nice.
delivery? I have a framework that I can
Please, please,
speak about
please,
delivery.
please.
So a while ago, I was teaching secondary school kids about presentations, like how I said,
Oh
the
yeah,
schools
secondary
don't
school
teach it.
needs it.
Yes,
Secondary schools
the
needs
schools don't really teach it, but they expect the kids to come up and present these days. And my daughter was Sec 1 back then, and I got a few other kids, put together a class, and put together a course actually over the school holidays. It's called Be a Star Speaker.
Okay.
And star is someone they'll always remember. So be memorable, basically. And one of the things I covered in the body language part of it is guess. And I created a framework which is simple enough for them to remember forever. Right? So GUESS. So the G is grounding, how some people keep swaying or walking nervously. So ground your feet, plant your feet firmly
Oh, I
on the
used to
ground.
do that. As
Yeah,
well.
everybody
I
does
didn't
it.
even like the fact I was doing it, but I did it.
Yeah, because we are not taught this.
Yeah.
So once you learn it and once you know and you are aware that you need to plant your feet firmly on the ground, that's your grounding. So the first 3 to 5 seconds, look at the audience, ground yourself. And then if you move, you move with purpose. But that's later. First you ground yourself, right? So the G is grounding. The U is using your hands and fingers. When you're speaking, you don't know what to do with your hands. So use them as aids. Yeah, some people hold on like this, and some people don't know what to do.
Or some people do
Yeah,
this
or pockets.
like that.
Pockets is
too.
the worst. Yeah. But it's okay. And people get away with it. So when your hands are fidgeting a lot, sometimes putting them in your pockets steadies them.
Honestly, when you're doing
So
it
it's
in
okay.
secondary school, the teachers will be more concerned about what you're saying and not what you're doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it gives you so much confidence
Yeah.
when you have the right body language. Then your E is eye contact. A lot of teens have an issue with making eye contact with people. So when you're speaking, you look in the camera. When you're speaking to people, look them in the eye. So eye contact. The S is smile.
And you have very pretty eyes.
Thank you so much.
Since you mentioned eyes.
Okay. The S is smile. And you smile enough, it relaxes you, it relaxes your audience. So smile. And the final S is stand tall.
Okay.
Most teens, needless to say, are hunched over because of mobile phone usage or any work that they keep doing on their devices.
Yeah.
And therefore, when they are in front of an audience, they forget that shoulder squared, stand tall, don't hunch, and don't turn sideways. Just
Standing up
stand
straight
forward.
is standing up or sitting up straight is so important.
Yes.
So
Yes.
important. Okay, so now we've learned something new. I've learned something new.
Yeah.
Guess,
Yes. Yeah.
Guess.
Yeah.
I'll put this in the description too. Actually, you know what? If since you're sharing so many tips today, right?
Yeah.
I might end up giving everyone a PDF summary of the whole thing.
That sounds great. Because then you're combining people who are visual and need to see things or read things rather than only listen. And I'm a visual person. I can't look at videos. But you give me a summary and I'll quickly glance through and see what's in it for me.
Amazing, amazing. Guess, who'd have thought? Guess is such a powerful abbreviation. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So I think a lot of people ask this kind of question. I try giving my own answers based on my own experience, but um, professionally,
Okay.
how can someone overcome the fear of judgment when speaking?
Ah, that's a tricky one.
That's a tricky one.
That's a very tricky question. And if anybody says I've mastered that, that person is not completely honest. To be honest, till date,
You can get better at it,
you can
but
get
you
better.
can't master
You
it
can't master
clearly.
it. You can't say I'm 100% there. We're all work in progress, and we're all overcoming the fear of judgment, or just being better than who we were. So being better versions of ourselves. But there are ways to overcome the judgment fear, where you think that you go with a positive intention and say that I am here to make a meaningful, positive impact to this conversation so that both of us, if you and I are in a conversation, the idea is to uplift both of us. Yeah. I give something to the conversation, you give something to the conversation. And then we both, when we leave the conversation, we are two better people.
I think we're nailing it.
Yeah, so it's constant self improvement. Yeah.
Since she did mention it, I think I think one way to put it is you guys can learn how to have a professional conversation with someone by watching this as well. Kind of. I
Yeah.
think I'm doing a pretty okay job at
Yes,
this.
yes, absolutely. You're doing a fabulous job.
Okay, so I think one way to say it is guess the abbreviation shared that I will put in the description. And the example she gave summarizes some simple and practical techniques that people can use to instantly speak more confidently, and not only for secondary school students, they can be applied to for anyone who is not so experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.